Okay, good morning, everybody. I'll call the meeting to order here. It's 9:30. Going to start by acknowledging we have Jeff Zhang, our infrastructure director, online. Jeremy Wilhelm is online, counselor, and Counselor Alan Dean is online. Plus, from administration, we also have Jennifer Christensen online. Counselor Devin Williams is currently unavailable, but is hoping to be joining us shortly. With that, move down. I mean, actually, before we get going into this, we have Jonas here. I do have a thank you, just a letter, anyways, from council for all of the work that you did for us as a interim CAO. There's just you see, just a signed letter here for you. Just our way of being a little bit more personable and acknowledging. Thank you for stepping up and taking that role on for us. It was greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, Joan.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
And with that, we'll move on to item 2.1. Mr. Jeff, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you, Your Worship, members of council. I hope my audio is working.
It's working great.
Thank you. In the 2024 capital budget, there's a line for $80,000 for the administration office paving project, which include a number of components. Number one is paving approximately 300 meters of the Woodlands Lane. Number two, paving two administration building parking lot access roads. Number three, paving the gravel portions of the office parking lot, and number four is paving the paved portion of the office parking lot. If the current overall projects to be delivered, the cost estimate is it's going to be around $450,000 with all the components being delivered. The current assets meets their intended use. Therefore, I'm bringing this RFP to council is that given there are a number of higher priorities in the county, the administration recommended the project be cancelled and funding be reallocated to other higher priorities. That's what this RFP is about. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Council, any discussion from council on that one? I know we've mentioned a few times through the budget. Councilor Burrows?
Well, I mean, this one, like we actually talked about this at budget time, and as far as I can remember, we canceled it at budget time. I still don't know how this snuck in to the whole plan in the first place, so I have no problem canceling this, but I don't remember the approval being given for this in the first place.
Just to move online there, Councilor Dean, I see your hand up there.
Yeah, thanks through the chair to council. John just expressed exactly what I was going to say.
Great, thank you. Councilor Cogan.
Yeah, what I like about this as well is that administration's recognized that there are other priorities in the municipality that probably would require this kind of funding more better than this, so I don't have a problem with this at all.
Councilor Prestige.
I'll make a motion that council cancels administration office paving project on the 2024 capital plan and transfer the $80,000 funding to the 2024 capital surplus.
Thank you, sir. Any discussion on that motion? Not seeing any. Call the question. All in favor?
Favor.
Thank you. Online there. That's carried. 2.2 pilot program Gibson Subdivision Roads and Township Road 592.
Thank you, Worship, members of council. Given our discussions at the previous council meeting, I understood that council wishes to see a hard surface option for Gibson Subdivision. Specifically, I was asked to look at whether the proposed option for Township Road 592, which we recommended a asphalt stabilization plus cold mix surface, can be also utilized for Gibson Subdivision. I'd like to begin the presentation from the financial side first, so please turn your document to page 9 of the PDF. into the cost and source of funding section. The total remaining budget for the co-mix program for this year, after 200,000 being allocated to engineering, is 458,000. On July 17th, 2024, Council approved 304,000 for Westridge Subdivision roads, which means there is around $154,000 remaining to be allocated. The current forecast for the co-mix review, which was estimated at 200,000, is currently estimated around 150,000. Therefore, there's a saving of 50,000 that can be utilized. And with the previous RFP, the cancellation of the administration office building paving project, there's an additional $80,000 in capital surplus that can be utilized. Therefore, we have a total budget of 458,000 plus 50,000 plus 80,000, which gives us around 588,000 to work with. Now, if I subtract the previous Westridge subdivision of 304, then the total budget available for this RFP is around 284,000. That's the number you see on the last line of page 9. So if I would ask you to please go back to page 6 of the PDF. I have recycled the options that I have provided in the previous RFP in the July 17th council meeting package. I have added one more option, which is option 11, which is the power rise and asphalt stabilization with co-mix surface. This was one that was discussed at the previous council meeting. If you can see the numbers for annualized total cost and first year capital cost, this option is actually more expensive compared with some of the other options that will also provide hard surface. Among all the options that will provide a hard surface, option 6, modified coating place recycling, is the one that administration recommends because it provides the lowest annualized total maintenance and construction costs, as well as the lowest first year capital cost, while given a reasonable lifespan for the structure. Therefore, as a trial, administration recommends proceeding with option 6 for Gibson subdivision, which would provide a hard surface with a reasonable lifespan to maintain the level of service in lieu of the original plan, which was just to polarize it and return to gravel. And that would be your motion number 1. For motion number 2, should there be any savings from Westridge subdivision and Gibson subdivision, because now these two subdivisions will see the same strategy being applied to them, there's a potential economy of scale. And if there is a saving at the end of the delivery, we can consider delivering Council 592, which is the access road into Pine Needles, around 800 meters of stretch. And based on the options presented at last council meeting, if you turn to page 8 and 9, you see all the options. Option 6, which is asphalt stabilization and co-mix placement, being the lowest cost in terms of annualized total construction and maintenance costs, as well as the first year capital cost, being recommended to proceed should there be available funding at the end of project delivery for Westridge and Gibson. Thank you. That's my presentation. I'm open to take any questions.
I just want to start by saying thank you, Jeff, for bringing this back to us. I know last meeting we kind of jumped on you a little bit there, and just want to make sure you understand it's not, I guess, council's frustration on what you had provided us, but just kind of where everything is, and that lack of communication and some of the shortfalls in the information that you also got coming into this role. So we appreciate you bringing this back and the work and effort that you're putting into this for us. Thank you. Any comments, questions from council? Not seeing any. Does anybody want to make a motion? Councillor Wilhelm?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that council approves the program for Gibson Subdivision coal mix roads, recommended as option 6, modified coal mix place recycling.
Thank you, Counselor. Any discussion on that motion? Not seeing any, I'll call the question. All in favor?
In favor.
Opposed? We got one opposed. It's carried. Motion 2, Counselor Burrows.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I will make a motion that council approves the pilot program for Township Road 592 from Range Road 114 to Range Road 113A, recommended as option 6, asphalt stabilization and cold mix placement, subject to funding availability from the savings on the Westridge Gibson subdivision projects.
Thank you, Counselor. Just to administration, when we do the minutes on this and the wording on the RFD, placement's missing a T.
Duly noted.
Thank you. Any discussion on that motion? Not seeing any, call the question. All in favor?
In favor.
Opposed? Thank you, that is carried. And brings us down to section 3, our closed meeting. If I can get a motion to go into closed section under FOIPs 23 and 17. Councillor Prestige.
I'll make a motion that we go into closed session for, which one, 17
And 23.
and 23.
Thank you. Motion on the floor, call the question, all in favor?
In favor.
That's moved. We're going to closed session at 9:40.